Hey everybody, welcome back to TechOdyssey. So today I'm here with the brand new Xiaomi Mi 11T. Now this guy right here, oh, also 5G, don't forget that. This is the brand spanking new phone. And it's got a lot of interesting things, but what I want to talk about here today is it's one heck of a gaming phone. And you might not think that because it's not from a brand name Asus, it's not from Razer, it's not from Red Magic, but it gets the job done and in a great way. And I was really impressed with the performance. It's got the brand new Dimensity 1200 chipset in it from MediaTek. Lots of great things. 6.67 AMOLED HDR10 Plus display. It's got some fantastic speakers on it too. So let's go ahead and dive in and look at this. I've got actual game footage from really popular games. Fortnite, PUBG, Genshin Impact, and a couple of other ones, so you can see exactly how well it performs. Also with some commentary and my thoughts on it and how it handles it. But overall, I think you're going to be impressed. Now, before we get into this, I do want to say if this is your first time stopping by the channel, thank you for being here. If you enjoy the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. Now let's check out this really cool gaming phone. So I want to start off here with a fan favorite. Of course, everybody loves Fortnite. So we'll go in here, take a look, pop in at the settings. 30 frames per second. It plays up to the highest setting they have there on high. So there's not really anywhere to go up from there. Some other more gaming centric or have deals with Epic Games like OnePlus with their like OnePlus 8 Pro. I think it was optimized for like 60 frames per second or something crazy like that. Not going to get that here, but what you can see, incredibly smooth. And this isn't something I've experienced on a lot of phones, especially not ones that don't have the word like iPhone and Pro attached to them or Note and Ultra. So looking at this Dimensity 1200, as soon as I fired it up, I started running it through the paces. I started playing these games and I was really impressed. So big canvas here. I know it's an HDR10 Plus screen. You're not going to get that here because it's not certified for that. But if you watch content like, you're going to find some great stuff on here. Beautiful contrast. The screen is very sharp. And here's something that a lot of phones can't brag about. It actually has over 400 hertz for the sampling rate for the screen. You're talking 480 hertz. That means that, people talk about the high refresh rate, which this phone does have. It has 120 hertz refresh rate for the display, which is how fast everything refreshes on the visuals. But the touch sampling, that's not something a lot of people touch on. That's how many times the screen refreshes in a second to detect when you're interacting with it. So if you touch the screen 480 times a second, that sucker refreshes and picks up your input. So really impressive there and gives you a bit of a competitive edge, I would even wager to say, whenever you're playing games. Now this one right here, I always like to show this one off as War Robots. It's such a fun game. Whether it is very good, visually looking, especially I grew up playing the mech games, Mech Warrior 2, played the board games. So having this on a phone is like a dream come true. So if you've never played it, there's a lot of pay to play stuff in here, but it can be a really fun game. And I've been playing it on and off for years, of course, along with Boom Beach, which is not really visually impressive. But this one right here, unfortunately, it doesn't support 60 frames per second, which I really wish that it did. Some of the other more supported phones do. And this is purely, it's not because it can't. I think the game is just not optimized for the Dimensity chipset from MediaTek. So hopefully, as they move forward, and of course as the brand, like the game manufacturers, like, oh, this is a new chipset being used to play our games, I would wager to say in the future it'll probably be unlocked. If it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. But really, when you're playing games, you want to have 60 frames per second. That's just really ideal. That's what all the consoles have been chasing for the longest time. 4K at 60 frames per second is the new catchphrase whenever it comes to like the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. So this one here, a lot of games do play 60 frames per second. This one doesn't though, and neither does Fortnite, unfortunately, but a lot of phones don't do that. But here you can see a lot of fun, great engaging game if you want to give it a whirl, and it looks brilliant on this phone. And here we have another fan favorite, which is Call of Duty Mobile. This one has made leaps and bounds. I started making these phone gaming reviews, I think last year. And it's something that I enjoy doing so I can show this stuff off because, hey, there's a gamer inside of all of us. So I mean, if you grew up playing Mario and Pac-Man, maybe this might not be your fancy, but there's a lot of stuff out there for everybody. And this one, it's cool because you get to play for free. It's not like you have an Xbox and you got to go out and buy and pay $65 for the latest Call of Duty or whatever. This one right here, you pick up this, you play PUBG, you play Genshin Impact. They're all free to play, and you can have really, really enjoyable gaming experiences here. And one thing I really like about this phone, of course, also is the dual stereo speakers. It's got Dolby. It sounds really good. Like, the sound is top-notch on this game, and it really makes for a nice, immersive sound experience. So you get the 480 hertz touch sampling rate. You get the stereo speakers. You get this beautiful AMOLED display. I think it all makes for a really, really good experience, unlike what the guy just had there that I shot from way, way far across the way. Now, this one right here, Genshin Impact. Everybody seems to love this game. And I was like, you know, I've tested this one out before, picked it up, played a little bit more, and this is kind of the gold standard when it comes to being able to play phone games. Everybody wants to know if their phone can play this. And yes, it does very well. And you can turn it all the way up to the highest settings. Works like a champ. It does get warm. Now this phone, I have had some games where I played Genshin Impact and it gets like unbelievably hot. So this one does get warm. I mean, anything that plays this I think does, because it puts such a strain on the processor, because I mean, just look at it. Such a beautiful immersive environment, and this one is smooth, seamless, a lot of fun to play, and it's just a great RPG with a good storyline, good voice acting if it's something that you want to get into. But I wanted to make this and put it out there because a lot of people really value this game and want to know how it's going to run, especially if they're looking at gaming performance. So the Mi 11T shines, and pretty much, I mean, I haven't had any problems with anything that I've thrown at it. So to be able to put this on here, you can play World of Warships, you can play World of Tanks, you can play League of Legends, Wild Rift. There's nothing that I can think of that this phone won't play remarkably well. And this one is just another one of those titles that it's great, it's free to play, it looks brilliant on here, and it's got a lot going for it. So that's, as soon as I started playing, I'm like, you know what, I need to make this video so people can see how good the gaming experience is on this phone, because it's not something I think a lot of people would typically look at, because it's not an Asus, it's none of those other crazy phones that people are like, oh, this is a gaming phone, I have to get this. You can play games on any phone, especially ones that have these top-notch flagship level chipsets in them, and this one is no exception. So here we are with the last bit of the footage that I had for Genshin Impact, but you can see here, even in combat, smooth, flawless, and looks real sharp and very responsive. So 2 thumbs up there for me. All right, not too shabby, huh? I told you were going to be impressed. 499 pounds, I think, is a really fair price for this phone. Dimensity 1200, 8 gigs of RAM, 2 different storage options. You can get the 128 or the 256, but I think you can see there, I mean, it handled all those games without even a hiccup. I mean, Genshin Impact, that one is a very, very intensive game. That one I had lots of problems with in the past, so I was very impressed. It did get a little on the warm side on the screen, which, I mean, not making excuses for the phone, but anything with the Snapdragon 888 this year that's been playing that game, it gets hot. So I think it's very on par with the competition as far as performance. Really, really exceeded my expectations, because, like I said previously, when it comes to media tech, it's not something that we really had these high-level conversations with, and I like it. Also, you get the 5G for the network connectivity in the application. You got Wi-Fi. You got 67-watt charging. Will get you recharged 100% in less than 40 minutes. Big, beautiful display, AMOLED HDR10+, and you can play all your titles you like. PUBG, Genshin Impact, Call of Duty Mobile, the whole 9 yards. It's all, you can play anything the Android Play Store has to throw at you and do it with ease. So that's all I got in this video. That's why I think it's a great gaming phone, and why I think it's worth consideration. Instead of going out and spending $700, $800, $900 on these other gaming phones, they're just fancied up Snapdragon 888 processor phones. So if you can get something from MediaTek that's from the same brand that you know, Xiaomi, that gives you all these different things, hey, I think $499 is a pretty good price for it. I mean, it's still not cheap. It's no, $200, $300 phone, but if you're looking for something and typically paying $700, $800, $900 for a flagship, this might just be right up your alley. So that's all I've got in this video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those down in the comments section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.